I didn't grow up in Ann Arbor. I was always a University of Michigan fan. I came down here a few times and I just kind of fell in love with the town.
It's been so wonderful. I mean, there's so many amazing, cool people here.
Yeah, really supportive, great crowds. It felt like Ann Arbor was waiting for improv to come back. We met at the Brave New Workshop Comedy Theater in Minneapolis. That's where I got my start in improv and sketch comedy.
Yeah, it was at one of the after party things there that I met him, and we immediately hit it off.
We just clicked right away. We could converse for forever, talk about anything and everything, and we just worked well together.
Literally on our first date, we talked about how we should open a theater together, which every time I say that, it sounds so ridiculous. But yeah, it was we met each other and they're like, you know, we should spend the rest of our lives together. So that's what we did.
But it wasn't until I started brewing beer that I was like, wait a minute, improvisers love beer. You know, we can bring the beer to the improv, marry these two things together, and have something brilliant. In 2013, we got the news that Tori had cancer. And that was the huge catalyst for us to do this. You know, it was like, well, if this is our reality now, let's do what we love, let's do what we're passionate about, and let's make this happen. And it just happened to be a tough chemo day for Tori. You know, she just wasn't, you know, it just took a lot out of her that day.
And it was sort of that feeling of why am I putting myself through this? I feel horrible. You know, it might not even work. Why am I even bothering? What's the point of any of this? It feels pointless. And then in his perfect response, he said,
Maybe it is all pointless. Maybe everything we do in life is completely pointless. So let's make our pointless dreams come true and open our pointless brewery and improv theater.
And it got me laughing, which was amazing at that moment. Plus, it was oh my God, that's brilliant. That's what we should call it. And so that's how we got the name.
And it was just yeah, I think that's the name.
Oh, my stomach's growing. Oh, my God.
The League of Pointless Improvisers is our house team, our resident cast, if you will. There are 25 of us, you know, so it's always a different cast each Friday and Saturday night. I had an idea for what I wanted us to do in terms of our own form, because I'm very much a long form improv guy. I like the scenic based stuff. I love it when it's a little mini play. Right now our opening is two-person scenes, and that establishes the world that we then play within, and it's about making connections, ultimately telling a little story in the end.
Have the NBA come and take your baby. Yeah, it's the new trick shot. Fetal layups.
2008, I asked for a home brewing kit for Christmas, and I just went nutty after that. I was I brewed my first batch and I was oh, I love this. Went from extract brewing to brew in the bag to, you know, all grain brewing to writing all my own recipes. I feel that's where the art of improv comes together with the brewing, because just like with improv, you know, you've got your form, you've got your structure, but the content is always different, right? It's the same with brewing. You know, you've got your recipe, or you've got your style that you're looking for, but the way the malts and the yeast and the hops come together is always going to be a little bit different. The beer itself becomes its own improv set in the glass, right? Because it's here's the style, here's our take on it, and you don't see all of the rehearsal, so to speak, right? You don't see the brew process.
Stripes! Couple! Golf!
I want us to get better, you know, to constantly get better and better. I would love it if we are registering on people's radars in a similar way to some of the other big improv theaters that are out there.
To use comedy and art to comment on what's happening in the world, and to help people think about things in a new way.
We got to, you know, take time to play together, have fun together, love each other, share moments together, because that's what this is about. That's what life is about, is sharing moments, right, with each other.